that to happen. So they have to fool us into giving us a promise. We'll promise to pay you at some time. So, but it doesn't exist. There's a lot of other things that you can go along in them lines. I don't want to... We haven't got enough time to talk about it. And they are quite complicated, some of them as well. But we've got two-tier everything. Two-tier law, we've got a two-tier community, which is basically one world society, which is what is being created. The socially dominant want to maintain their social dominance. That's basically it. It's not... People say New World Order, blah, blah, blah. It's the socially dominant. They've got everything.
Well, social,
the
word social to me sounds a bit kind of soft and cuddly. You know, you say socially dominant. I mean, this is... You're talking about society, aren't you?
Yeah, but that's the socially dominant members of a community. They're the ones who will do anything to maintain their social dominance. So they're not quite as cuddling as you would like to imagine.
Well, no, I don't particularly imagine that those people who do control the Federal Bank and the Bank of England, indeed they do.
They are the socially dominant. And in a way... everybody, the whole system's been tiered down. So anyone, we talked about this, anyone who owns a company, who employs people, who pays them a promise at the end of the week.
With fiat currency, which is just nothing.
What are you maintaining? Your social dominance. It's the truth, though. You're enslaving people.
I'm enslaving people.
Yeah. You're doing exactly the same, but see, because we mimic what's given to us. Everybody mimics the same thing. And hopefully, after people hear this information, they'll start to realise that, yeah, really is what's going. And then what you do is you take the very simple system that human beings live by, which is in communities, and you put ism on the end of it, and you completely destroy that as well, which is what they did. Everything with an ism. Socialism, capitalism, communism, Marxism, socialism, they're all isms.
Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
It cracks me up. All of it cracks me up because it's just, when you understand what's going on and how simple it is, everything that's complicated in the world has a simple foundation. We have a motto on the site: the truth is simple, mankind makes it complicated. It is absolutely true because it doesn't matter.
That is true, yes.
Yeah, if you take the most complex building, it's still built on a set of foundations. There's nothing...
Except the World Trade Centres, clearly. It's a circular argument, isn't it? Let me read out a text. Dave Ellison has written, in 1989, the 1989 Children Act overruled common law which states the father owns them. Can they do this? Dave Ellison.
No.
They can't overwrite common law.
They cannot overwrite. See, common law... I know Dave as well. Common law is everything comes from natural law, common law, the three basic principles. Nothing can overwrite it on a human being. But then when you enter into the world of commerce, which is Admiralty and Fleet, when you enter into that world, you're then dealing with fictions. Remember, the children of fictions. They're dealing... The social...
Well, they're capital letter names are their fictions, if you like. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, right. I'll give you an example.
They're human beings, aren't they?
Right. Tell everyone in the audience, go and get your V5 document for your car and look at what it says. It says a registration certificate of the registered keeper.
Yeah, it is the registered keeper, I know that, yes.
Now, how could they possibly take something that is lawfully yours, i.e. the car, and crush it if you don't put tax on it?
Well, hold on a second. They don't... the reason it's keeper is because it might not be yours. It might actually belong to a finance company, for instance, or it might be a company car, and you're the registered keeper.
No. If
your issue is with the word keeper...
That's fair enough. That's absolutely fair enough, a company car.
Yeah.
But the finance part of it, it's still registered to the DVLA. The DVLA need to know who owns that car, because the registration, that's why they'll take the car and crush it.
Now, well, they don't do that very often, do they?
They do take quite... Why take them off the side of the street and take them down a compound and charge you extortionate costs for keeping a car because you might have parked somewhere they deemed that you can't park. You haven't broken no common law, you've not committed a crime.
There's no loss, harm or injury.
So they've stolen your property. In common law, they've stolen your property. They've caused you a loss. You've lost your vehicle. Now, take that concept one step further. If you're only the registered keeper, that means that you signed over the ownership, the possession of that vehicle to the government.
But when you signed that...
Yeah, because apply...
Fee 5.
No, apply, you submit a registration of application. Submission is to bend to someone else's will, yeah? You register... When you register something, you hand over possession of it, and when you apply, you're begging, and it's implied that you know what you're begging for. Look the words up yourself. Look it up for yourself. Now, this is why the social services can take children. Because the fiction's theirs. They
you've
own
signed
the
them
fiction.
over when you sign their birth certificates.
Absolutely, it's the same principle. And it works with houses, it works with cars, it works with children. Anything you register, you have given away possession of it.
OK, well, here's a really good question. Jamie from Norfolk. How can we free ourselves from the stranglehold of central bankers and the current debt-based economy when they own all the mass media weapons?
Well, we've got the internet. It's the most powerful entity in the world and it can't be stopped.
Well, I don't know, they're trying, aren't they?
They can't stop it. It's a living entity in its own. They'll tell you that there's one pipe comes in and it goes to one building in London and they can shut the whole of the internet down. Talk to anybody who understands the internet. That comes in so many different ways, they physically couldn't shut it down. Another thing is they need it more than we do.
Well, another thing is Edge Media TV, Channel 200. Keep watching.
Nice plug. But no, so the internet is mimicking the way that human beings should really communicate. Everything we've got to communicate with nowadays, we think we're so connected as a race, but actually we're more disconnected than we could possibly imagine.
Do you think so?
Yeah, because we've been conditioned. They use dumbing down techniques on us. Look at mainstream media television. I don't want to go into the realms of it, but they call it programming for certain reasons. Watch people go into a trance when they're watching it. Just watch it. Talk to someone. Offer them a cup of tea. Do you want a cup of tea? Huh? What did you say? This happens.
Is that the Strictly Come Dancing effect, is it?
Possibly, yeah. I wouldn't want to watch it.
No,
quite honestly, no, it's not.
I managed to miss it somehow.
No, I don't watch any real television. I've watched one of your shows.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
What about the other ones? What was wrong with them?
Well, you don't watch TV. You don't watch it. I watch it on the computer, so anyway.
You can watch it online. www.edgemediatv.com. Watch online. You can watch it live, or you can watch programmes that have gone out in the past.
So basically, anything you register is not yours anymore, and that's where the fiction. This is where the commerce comes in. But see, under common law, no law can be created in this country if and be applied to common law unless it reinstates or reinforces common law. So if anything to the contrary of that, anything that goes completely against the common law principle cannot be reinforced in common law. And common law is created by declaration, which a declaration is by the people or by a monarch can do it. The 1351 Treason Act, although it's a statute, originally it was declared by a king, so...
Whatever.
You got 1351. I don't know, but anyway, there's an argument whether that could be common law or not, because it's a declaration and it was made into a statute. But a declaration, generally, is a declaration by the people, becomes part of common law.
Can you make a declaration?
Absolutely. I did one with my affidavits. That's a declaration.
But it doesn't pass into common law, does it? It's simply...
Yeah.
It's about you,
No. It passes
you couldn't
into
pass common law.
Listen,
you couldn't make a declaration about me, for instance, could you?
Oh, no. Only about yourself. You make a declaration about yourself. That's what an affidavit is. It's a sworn statement of truth from you.
All right, well, let's talk a bit more about this affidavit that you did, this declaration.
Well, I'll tell you, I would like to expand on one point, though,
okay,
if you don't mind,
no,
because all the affidavit achieved in the end, now we know, was to allow Her Majesty, the Royal Household and the Foreign Commonwealth Office, where they ultimately end up, lets them know how many people have done this and why they're fed up. OK? They know the country doesn't work.
How many have done it?
Well, we don't know, because I don't want to ask anybody. That was what it did. What I come to the determination of was this, and this is very simple. Under contract law, a birth certificate was done on your behalf. But it's a contract at the end of the day.
But it's not made with my cooperation, is it?
Absolutely.
Because at the age of whatever, a few days...
So that being the preamble document to create the fiction, that means that every document off of that is null and void. It's illegal, it's void. So in commerce law, it doesn't exist.
So when you get your national insurance number...
It's all farce. It's all farce. But I suddenly come to the determination as this. I was born free.
As free as the wind blows.
Absolutely. I was born free. My freedom does not come from a man. It does not come from a woman. I was born free. And no one has the right to take that away from me. And I'm free because I say I am, and not because the government give me a piece of paper.
So having said it and done it in a certain way, you are a free man now.
Yeah, but I'm free because I say I am.
OK, but what does that mean now? Tell me what it means.
It means